Every year, thousands of people have cardiac catheterizations or angioplasties. That's when a doctor threads a catheter to the heart arteries to look for blockages and other issues. If they do see a blockage, they can decide if placing a stent to open it would be beneficial. For years, doctors have used the artery near your groin as an access point for this procedure. But now some are using the artery in your wrist. Why? Because it may be safer and easier on patients.
If you like picking, I have the best picking you've ever heard.
Mountain music. Wood. To Greg Beamer, that combo can't be beat.
This stuff is fantastic.
When you watch Greg doing his thing in the shop, you'd never know that once a week or so, he gets hit by chest pain, stable angina.
I have chest pain, heaviness, pressure.
His symptoms are the result of a heart that's kept on beating despite heart attack, a bypass.
There's a certain part of my heart that isn't working.
And 6 stents to open narrowed arteries. Dr. Rajiv Gulati says most of those stents were placed the traditional way, via the femoral artery.
The downside of that has been that patients will often need to lie flat for a number of hours after the procedure because there is a risk of the femoral artery from bleeding because it's under high pressure. And we need to allow the vessel to heal up before we can have the patient to move around.
But Greg's last stent was placed using a different entry point, the radial artery in the wrist.
There have been a number of studies now that have compared femoral versus radial access, and every single study shows a lower bleeding risk.
Plus, there's often less discomfort, and patients can go home the same day and get back to normal activities. Now, here's how the two procedures compare. For the traditional method, doctors place the catheter into the femoral artery and run it up to the heart. For the other method, doctors start at the radial artery in the wrist and thread the catheter to the heart. Same access to arteries, but fewer risks. Greg says if he ever has to have another stent, he's going to opt for the wrist procedure.
I know the difference.
Right now, Greg's not thinking about what might happen in the future. He's focused on working with wood. In his shop,
You want to hear acoustical picking? Listen to this.
to the tunes of mountain music.
How can you get unhappy with something like that going on?
For Medical Edge, I'm Vivian Williams.
Dr. Gulati says if you need a stent, there's no guarantee you can have the radial artery procedure. Only people who have good blood supply to their wrists and arteries that aren't too small are candidates. Also, some people who have bypass can't have the procedure because wrist arteries are sometimes used in the operation. But for the right person, this procedure can be very beneficial.
And now a recap of the headlines. Melbourne Francis, who was due to testify in court, was shot and killed in Long Look, East End. Chairman of the BVI Health Services Authority says healthcare costs without a national health insurance system is a train wreck waiting to happen. And he explains the policy that governs the provision of free medication for senior citizens and children. Virgin Gorda residents give green light for government to proceed with the state-of-the-art medical center. Water and sewage maintenance staff in Virgin Gorda complain about years of poor and unhealthy working conditions. 103-year-old BVI Gem talks to JTV News about his secret to longevity. And Miss BVI reigns as Caribbean World Queen. In news from the Caribbean, USVI jockey makes history as the first black jockey to ride in the Kentucky Derby since 1902. And a prominent politician in Curacao government fatally shot, sending shockwaves across the Dutch Caribbean island. Remember, this newscast is available on our website, jtvlive.net, as well as all news features, JTV's programs, press conferences, government and community events. We welcome your questions and comments. You can email us at jtvnews@hotmail.com. I'm Ino Suman. Thank you for watching.
Wardrobe provided by Umi Fashions.
We now welcome to the stage delegate number 1, representing Antigua and Barbuda, Renee Larande.
She dares to be different. She dares to stand out in the crowd. She dares to be admired for the subtle essence of her femininity. She is poised. She carries herself with grace and grandeur. She is Renee Laurent. She is Miss Antigua and Barbuda. Ladies and gentlemen, Renee Laurent, Miss Antigua Barbuda, in an evening gown titled Golden Essence, Sweet Seduction.
We now call to the stage delegate number 2, representing the Bahamas, Mia Pettyhome.
Ladies and gentlemen, this sweetheart top turquoise and brown evening gown with pink iridescent crystals is a true representation of the beautiful islands of the Bahamas.
We now welcome to the stage delegate number 3, Miss British Virgin Islands, Cherie De Castro.
Just like the caterpillar transforms into a majestic butterfly, demonstrating its effortless ability to be beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, now take a deep breath as you witness the transformation into the picture of perfection. The mirror never lies. Her reflection is indeed perfection. This gown is true to its name, Galaxy Couture, the picture of elegance and style. Shining bright like the diamond she is, Miss De Castro looks simply radiant in the silver, crystal, and glass-adorned masterpiece. With an overwhelming allure to femininity, she glides gracefully across the stage as a gentle train follows in a simple yet dramatic fashion, emphasizing the dynamic and stunning presence of this avant-garde gown. Thousands of iridescent Swarovski crystals, mirrored glass, and molded silver studs were carefully hand-placed to create an impressive galactic pattern. A seamless complement to this edgy gown is the feminine touch of Italian hand-woven lace, which delicately falls from the shoulder, drawing attention to its open neckline and in a vine-like fashion connects to the lower back. This mermaid-shaped gown hugs Cherie's petite figure, accentuating her feminine curves and drapes diagonally outward into a fishtail from the knee. The pinstriped place of the molded studs on the tail of the gown draws its inspiration from the Milky Way galaxy. The skin-toned, sheer front of the gown gives the illusion of stars hanging in open skies, and the dramatic cut of the center of the gown is the shape of a pure-cut African diamond. The silver-coated Indonesian woven mesh material tricks the eyes as a transparent backdrop for the crystal and mirrored glass elements, which adds the avant-garde nature to the Galaxy Couture. Cut and fit to perfection.
We now welcome to the stage delegate number 4, representing Cuba, Daniela Garcia.
The Royal Indigo represents the deep blue sea surrounding the island. And just as pictured on the beautiful Cuban flag, it portrays perseverance and justice. The shape is meant to visualize the curvaceous body of the Latin Caribbean woman.
Representing Dominica, Les Lassa Amor Shellingford.
In a celebration of Dominica's marine reserves, Les Lassa appears as Postian's bride. as the mythological god of the seas. Only his bride could represent Dominica's award-winning underwater world so beautifully. Her bejeweled, figure-hugging gown echoes the colorful spectacle of the precious treasures of the Caribbean Sea.
Let's welcome to the stage delegate number 6 in evening wear, representing St. Kitts and Nevis, Trevicia Adams.
Designed and made by Carl of Uzuri International in Jamaica, this elegant turquoise blue sparkling gown is dubbed Caribbean Sea. And is, in her opinion, an almost perfect replica to the dark blue, sea blue, and turquoise colored waters of the Caribbean Sea. The bodice of the gown has a tube design in sparkling silver and blue accents of decorated lace fabric. As you glide your eyes to the lower bottom part of this elegant masterpiece, one can see that the designer chose sheer lace at the waistline to capture the attention of the onlooker. The gown sits snugly on the hips of Miss St. Kitts and Nevis and has the matching bodice fabric placed selectively on areas of the skirt.
We now welcome to the stage delegate number 7, representing St. Lucia, Joyanne Bissett.
Simply breathtaking, simply stunning, and every inch St. Lucian. Joyanne shimmers like the setting sun, glinting in the softening sky. This exquisite vision lights up our stage, fires our hearts, inspires our imagination like the promise of an approaching gala event. Joyanne's sleek one-sleeve style Empire Sweetheart asymmetrical design hugs the contours of her upper body, highlighting the perfect silhouette, flowing into a fashionable flare, then into a generous train. Lustrous motifs sparkle from this shimmering pink taffeta fabric, and the subtle detail of the left sleeve contrasts with the plunging mesh provocation at her back.
We now welcome to the stage delegate number 8, representing St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Carice Glasgow.
Have you ever witnessed the sun reflecting off the ocean on a perfect Caribbean day? Well, look no further. Feast your eyes on Ocean Paradise, depicted by Miss St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The bodice of Carice's gown is made of French beaded lace with a sheer midsection to give a slight glimpse of her torso. The halter-style neckline of her gown is embellished with bugle beads, which are also strategically placed on either side of her deep V bust line. Carice's waistline is adorned with another cluster of bugle beads, from which cascades silk chemise and silk chiffon decorated with crystals, which is separated at the center by a split. The back of the gown remains bare, with the exception of one set of straps that clasp at the center of her bags.
In evening wear, delegate number 9, representing Trinidad and Tobago, Miss Sonia Millington.
Making a grateful entrance to the stage in a pico-pat design is Miss Sonia Millington in a gown entitled, once again, Oil Boom. This simple yet elegant gown is naturally molded at the counter of her form and flowing into a graceful trail at the back. A creative blend of modern sex appeal and conservative style, the gown gives a rich blend of one of our national resources in full bloom as it nestles in the sun.
We now welcome to the stage Delegate number 10, representing the USA, Ms. Jillian Thomas.
Elegance in the midst of excitement, shimmering bright in the night, an attention-grabbing navy blue in color, Jillian has chosen for tonight. Serenity, calm tides sparkling in the moonlight, ambience at its best. This dress was created by Adionic to complement Jillian's complexion and assist the beauty that lies within on shining through and through. Poised, tall and proud is Jillian in this dazzling gown. The dress begins as a silver choker, and immediately you encounter the deep navy blue with an eyelet and mermaid shape. And in the back,
we now welcome to the stage Delegate number 11, representing St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands, Cleongel Williams.
a phenomenal woman of poise, intellect, and affection. The true definition of what this vibrant color of fuchsia represents: undefined love, elegance, and passion, all of which she demonstrates every day in her being.
Third runner-up goes to delegate number 7, Miss St. Lucia,
Joyanne Biscuit.
second runner-up. Second runner-up. Second runner-up goes to delegate number 8, St. Vincent and the Grenadines,
Miss Carice Glasgow.
First runner-up, Miss Caribbean World 2013. First runner-up goes to delegate number 5.
Miss Dominica Lislasa Amor Shillingford.
Miss Caribbean World 2013 goes to delegate number 3, Cherie de Castro,
British Virgin Islands. We want to say congratulations to you, Miss British Virgin Islands, Cherie de Castro, also to all of the contestants, those of you who placed this evening. We want to thank you, everyone, for coming out, for making this evening memorable.